So the Prop 8 thing went down in California in 2008, and right after that I had this bizarre reunion with my brother and my half-sister, and I hadn't seen my brother for probably 10 years, and it was just kind of this odd kind of family reunion, and I thought, well, I want to do something that ties those two things together, like a family situation and this whole thing about intolerance. And so first I came up with, well, maybe it shouldn't just be a thing about gay intolerance. Maybe I should use an analogy. So I went with werewolves, thinking, okay, we'd have a society where werewolves were treated like gay people are treated in some places. And then through a series of writer meetings and suggestions from other people and waffling back and forth, we decided, well, why not just make the werewolves gay? We'll just clobber you over the head with the message. It's a comedy anyway. And that's kind of how we got to where we were with that. What do you think?
I'm the werewolf sister. Can't you tell? It's a comedy, and it's sort of a social commentary on prejudice. This is my take anyway. How minorities in the community are treated, except that they're using werewolves as the minority. I think it's brilliant.
This is a beautiful story about a May-December relationship seeking to break the bonds of a repressive society and free themselves. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
I think you're going to pull this off, and then mainly because, well, wait a minute, you don't have any, there aren't any naked women in this movie, are there?
I was trying to think earlier of a line that hadn't been used in cinema before when I was going to insult your national police officer, and I thought, "You stupid anus-sniffing son of a bitch," was a pretty good one because I couldn't recall anus-sniffing son of a bitch having been used before.
I don't know. I think the political import of a movie like this, especially post-election, in which you know, we maintain the status quo that everything is at its May, where it's okay to be gay as long as you're not too gay, and it's okay to be werewolf, I guess, as long as you're not too werewolf. And I think that, you know, I think the movie's going to do a good job of really capturing the political climate for gays and werewolves.
What any parent feels like, you know, if their child's gonna be ostracized, they wish the best for them. There's a scene where we talk about, you know, I'm heartbroken that he is a gay werewolf. I mean, not only is he gay, but he's a werewolf. I love him anyway, it doesn't matter. Like any parents, but I think Doug wrote a good scene in the sense that it seems to me, if you have a child in that situation, you love them unconditionally, but at the same time, I think most parents are just a little heartbroken in the beginning because they know that child's going to have a rougher time than most of us in this world, and that's what that was all about. So
it's kind of been time consuming because I know I like want to do other stuff with my friends and stuff, like skateboard. I like to do that, but overall it's been pretty fun. The big money, pretty good.
Werewolves are pretty simple on this movie compared to other werewolf movies, so that's good. I think the challenge was having Brian in a fursuit, or not really fursuit, that was actually the challenge. Fursuit didn't work and hair had to be glued to him, so that was a challenge. Mainly for him, so not so much for me.
I have never been on a gay werewolf. I had a gay butt pirate in a movie, but never a gay werewolf. This is brand new for me, and I'm falling in love. All my films from this point on are going to be sound bites from trains and gay werewolves on trains doing a train.
Well, I think that they do everything that they can to make you feel like shit here.
Like you're a tiny person.
Well, it's also a security.
It is?
Oh, well, I mean, if you think about it, if you're a 6 foot tall, muscle bound man, it's a lot harder to remember to duck down and tuck your body tight to bum rush the guard as he opens the door.
Yeah.
So, small door, you have to be careful walking through. If Todd ever gets arrested, he's going to be screaming as they haul him off, "But I'm too tall for prison."
Well, mama's in the kitchen with a butcher knife. Said the dagger bomb's gonna take another life. Daddy's in the garage, spinning up a meat. We're gonna rock We're gonna have a slaughter tonight. Can a lot of people way up in the hills, skinning different boys and eating different thrills. Got a big fire under the barbecue. Come on, you really gotta drop it. It's a little girl. Oh, girl. By my amp side, we're gonna have a slaughter tonight.
We don't really have a lot of time between takes and between setups, so we also don't have a big budget for Foley. So trying to grab all the little wild bits of the audio to help the editor and get a really nice audio bed has been tricky.
It's great. It's been great. Killer, man. It's gonna be huge. It's huge. Absolutely.
Best moment. What's a good memorable moment on set?
Oh God.
I mean,
I don't know.
Doug breaking 2 ribs was pretty memorable.
I missed that. I was inside apparently.
I don't know. Most of the gay men in Shakespeare are shipwrecked men named Antonio, but that's like weird and random.
Yesterday, the excitement was in the morning. That was before lunch. And so Brian and I were doing that cool little scene where I'm running after the van. And that's not scripted either, me running after it. I was supposed to just walk. But I got inspired and decided to run. And then got a little close to the road to where the ditch is. And then I slipped off on one foot and I bounced down into a ditch that was really hard. I actually bounced when I hit the ground. And then I flipped over and I got back out of it like a cartoon character. And it looked really, really good on film, but I broke number 9 and 10 on my ribs and spent like 4 or 5 hours in the emergency room. But I got to watch TV, so that was fun. But I feel pretty good. Taking some Vicodin today, some naproxen. Can't complain. But as he says, when the adrenaline's running, you don't feel that. You really don't feel the full impact. You know you're hurt.
This is when you're doing the majority of the damage to your body. The adrenaline's high and you can't.
Yeah, you don't know until later. It's hours later.
Sorry.
Yeah, so they came in. Remember they came in and she goes, well, what would you say your pain level is on like a scale of 1 to 10? And I'm thinking, well, that's relative to the person. What the hell does that mean, right? And I go, I don't know, 3, 4. I said I've had back pain before where my back was out. I thought that was excruciating. I thought that was much worse because that's a sharp pain. And she goes, so 3 or 4, huh? And obviously she's already seen the x-ray and she's wondering why I'm just saying 3 or 4. And then as I sat there for a couple hours, because they checked my vital signs like 3 different times, and I think that's why they kept me, just to make sure I hadn't punctured an organ or something. And finally the doc comes in and he goes, still on the 3 or 4? And I'm going, no, we're kind of like 5 or 6 now. Okay, yeah, he goes, because, yeah, you got 2 of those are broken. And I go, well, just cracked or something, right? No, they're broken. Clean break.
So I meant 7 or 8.
Oh, yeah.
I had an opportunity to get some lines, and I guess I blew it by not stepping up fast enough and agreeing to do it. So I got demoted to silent partner, but it was good.
But we have made it a rule now that whenever he's nervous, he's changing clothes all the time.
Okay.
So Faux Paws basically epitomizes for me what indie film's all about. What they're doing in this film is what Hollywood wouldn't, essentially. There's a sort of subject matter and sort of a treatment that Hollywood would never come near. I mean, this is a movie that you're not going to see anything like it in festivals or theaters for the most part. And that's sort of where indie film is best. Just handling unique interpretations of subject matter.
Are we after
and gathering together talent. I mean, people from stage, artists who work outside of film together to collaborate on a very unique vision. And that's what we're doing. Hopefully it works. So what do you think? Is this a dream come true?
Yeah. We've been working on this 4 years, since I first started talking to you about it. We were in acting class a few years before that for a couple of years. And, you know, I wrote this script for you, and then it became a buddy picture, so I inserted myself. But I can't think of anybody else I want to play with. And you're just dynamite, man. It's a chemistry. What can I tell you? So, yeah, it is a dream, and it's the first script that I've been told is different enough, is smart enough to maybe break through to a big audience, right? Instead of just having a cult audience or having a no audience or sitting on my shelf. Yeah.
What are you going to do with this, by the way? I hope this never sees light of day.
Well, this is the behind the scenes. This goes on the DVD extras.